You walk into a casino, and as soon as you open the door, it smells really, really bad. It smells like a dead body inside there. Would you walk inside? You decide to go to another casino, you open that door, and a rush of smell, and you sniff. And it smells really, really rancid. It smells horrible. It stinks really bad. It smells like a dead body. Would you go into that casino? I'm going to share a story with you about masks, about your supernatural power, and mind over matter. Now, I'm going to ask you to use your imagination with me in this quick video, because what I'm sharing with you can become a reality, can help you get completely free if you understand what I'm getting at here in this scenario. Now, I remember when I was younger, I'm sharing this with you because this is something for you to think about. If you're really interested in wanting to crush your gambling, you want to annihilate your gambling addiction, you're going to have to find a way to defeat the thoughts. You're going to have to find a way to defeat the triggers. You're going to have some steps. You're going to have to learn to use even imaginary tools, if you will. It's what I do. It's what keeps me every day free, permanently. When I was about 16, 15, back in Connecticut in the 70s, lived in the projects, work was not, well, there was plenty of work, I'm sure, but when you're not in the right frame of mind to be searching for opportunities, you basically take whatever comes along. I remember this white van. It was maybe one or two vans that used to drive around in the afternoons throughout the neighborhood, and they'd ask, guys were out there partying, doing whatever. Hey, you want to go to work? Sure, make some money. We would jump in the vans. 30, 40 minutes later, we would end up at these farms. And I remember there were second story buildings. They were farmhouses. And generally, it was pretty warm. It was kind of cool temperatures late at night. In Connecticut, cools down at night. It was between the hours of 10 and maybe 6 in the morning. I remember during that ride, the guys that would be in there, I don't think there was any women. If we've ever had any women, we might have had a woman or two come along with us. There'd be drinking, there'd be drugs. Why would they be getting loaded? My first time, I'm like, I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, who I was working for. All I know was I ended up at the farm on a second story level, catching chickens out of these cages. Dust, feathers, poop smell, little lighting, passing the chickens out through a door or some kind of an opening in a farmhouse from a second story level to load up semi trucks. Those big crates. They have crates of chickens. And this was back in the 70s. And I remember every once in a while we'd get a hold of a mask. I wasn't equipped for that kind of work. When the van came around, you jumped in and you got, you went. You came back 6:30 the next day. In fact, that work was so brutal. I remember I used to have dreams about me passing the chickens out through my bedroom window. And those chickens would tear you up in here, boy. Catching those chickens, and you couldn't see them, and they're plucking around, and they're running around, and then fights would break out between people, and yeah, there would be fights. People would get angry and stuff. It wasn't the best environment to generate money with. Every time today that I put on one of these type of masks like this, I literally smell the chicken coop. I can smell the poop. It brings me back to the 70s. It brings me back to that van. It brings me back to that group of people that I associated with. And it had something to do with that smell. That smell. Now, I wouldn't do that. I would not ever do that again because I know what it's like. Whenever I put these masks on, it's mind over matter. The smell, it brings me right back to that place in history. I've shared this with you because I want you to think about what I've just said. Is it possible for you to attach something? Maybe it could be a smell, or it could be some other idea that you come up with. You attach an idea to that temptation that you fall into, and you end up going into the casino. It's like you're going to put a door there. You're going to put a block. Is it going to be a smell? Is it going to be the smell of decaying, rotten flesh? I don't know, but is that possible? Anything is possible to him that believes, to him that works at it, to him that desires it. I'm just sharing with you that your mind is very powerful. Your mind is very valuable to you. You can become very creative. You can use your imagination, and you can work your way out of difficulties. And you can work yourself into opportunities, if that makes sense. I'm going to leave you to think about this. I know this has impacted me all my life, this little mask. Every time, nobody knows. I remember there's been places with jobs, and especially now, COVID-19, right? The mask thing. I remember the last time every time I can smell the chicken, man, I could smell it. I don't want any part of that anymore. Of course, it was brutal work. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that you take something away. Use your imagination. Remember, mind-mouth power connection, MMPC. I'm doing it every day. I'm winning. I'm annihilating it. I'm crushing the addiction every day. You can do the same thing. soldiersofselfmastery.com. Join the family. Soldier Scribe. Leave me a comment, a thumbs up, and I believe that you share and you'll care by sharing this video with somebody that you know. All right, my friends, until my next one, I'll see you at the top on the inside on my very next one, making every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top, in spite of and because of. Soldier Self-Mastery, Santos Rolon Jr., Stockton, California.